Is that it? Yeah?
There you go.
Alright.
Welcome to the IndecentCamal podcast, episode 1, with myself, Nakuma, Manny, and Juan. Okay, so now that I got that awkward intro out of the way, today's topics are games. We're going to be talking about Destiny and Halo and a little bit about Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Along with that, gaming topics, we're also going to talk about the current consoles, the Xbox One and PS4. Is it worth it to own both, or are they both exactly the same? And is the Vita still worth it, or has it even been worth it since the beginning? Which is nice. That's funny.
Yeah.
In the background, you may hear.
And my bad to cut you off, man. But in the oh shit, in the background, we may seem a little stressed out because we're playing Call of Duty Ghost at the moment on the PlayStation 4.
Console war. And that person, unless I didn't say it already, we have Manny, myself, Nakuma, and our friend, special guest for this episode, Juan. Say hi.
Hey, what's up?
There's Juan. So, yes. So, before we talk about the topics I already said, that's the point. I'm trying to make it sound awkward, Manny. Something personal. I will start this off.
Yeah.
Because there's a point at. God damn it. I'm getting into this game. I'm sorry. Is driving and road rage. It is something that a lot of us have. It is something that a lot of people say they don't have, but they're just too afraid to admit it because they think it's such a horrible thing.
Everyone's had that at one point or another.
I have it a lot, and
more than others.
I have one too many road rage stories, and honestly, I'm just curious on your guys' thoughts on road rage. Like, what is a more recent experience of road rage that you have had?
Well, for some of your road rages, dude, I've noticed that it's negotiable because I'm guilty of this too. And someone could be going the speed limit in front of me, but because you got a nuke, man.
I didn't get it.
Well, you got snooked, whatever.
Uh-huh.
But someone could be going the speed limit. I like to live on the edge. Maybe go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 miles above what I should be going in the 75 zone.
Uh-huh.
And I get irritated because there's a guy in the left lane. You're supposed to be going fast. And I'm probably about 1 or 2 inches away from hitting him with my lime green Ford Fiesta.
I hate that car. It takes me a while to think because I have road rage 24/7. Like, my problem. What was the most recent road rage story that I have?
Driving the Buffalo Wild Wings. Oh no, not even that.
It was that actually.
Was it?
It was your brother, Benny, who also writes for the site. So
Zilla Fitness.
that's his other name. A few nights ago, all of us were driving to Buffalo Wild Wings. Me, Manny, Anthony, Michael, Benny, his girlfriend Leslie. I think that was it, right? Yeah. All of us. We're all driving 2 separate cars. Benny, Leslie, and Manny are in Benny's car. Oh, and Tori. Tori was there. That's Anthony's.
Dang, that's cold, man.
I know.
Okay,
At least you forgot too. She was also with so Anthony, Tori, Michael, and myself, which I was the driver. All of us were in my car. Manny, Benny, Leslie, they were in Benny's car. And Benny's brother just so happened to grind the gears a little because this is my thing with road rage is whenever I see people speeding as fast as they can, I always get a kick out of it because yes, the speed limit on the freeway is 75. On average, I'll go 80, maybe 85. Obviously going a lot faster, which is what everyone does. Whatever. It's not that huge of a deal, I'm sure. And Manny's brother Benny, we both get off. We get off on the off ramp, and we're both right by each other. And Benny finds it necessary to stomp the gas pedal and completely pass me. Now, of course, my inner cool kid wants to come out. My inner cool kid wants to come out and stomp the gas and eventually race him and all that. But at the same time, I am not in the mood to get a ticket. So you know what, everyone who's with me, I'm sorry, but we're not going to be cool tonight. We are going to continue to go the speed limit. As while Benny is speeding down the freeway, I already know what's going to happen, and of course, it happened.
This is something that happens when anyone is speeding on the freeway.
It's very stupid because whenever people speed all the time, 90% of the time, whenever they pass you they're hauling ass, they're always going to be going to the same destination you are, or at least the same lights.
Well, the same exit, same light, whatever.
Yeah,
same
yeah.
off-ramp.
I'm not saying like same location as in like, oh, they're going to Great Clips also, so am I. Wow. No, like the same exit, stoplight, so on. And they're speeding. They're going like 95, 100 miles almost, and all that. Which obviously, unless there's someone in the car having a kid.
In retrospect, if you think about it, it is getting you to wherever you're going faster.
Uh-huh.
But there are these things called red lights that
they exist.
They work on timers, obviously. If you don't know that, they do work on timers. Mm-hmm. And when you speed, you're just speeding to get to that red light faster than the person to the right of you.
No matter what, you're all going to get to that red light. It'll be overall for the person who's going 75 and the person who's going 100 miles an hour. At the end of the day, after all of that frustration, the person's getting to that same red light that you are. He'll just be getting there 8 seconds earlier than you. God forbid you don't make it there in that 8 seconds and you have to drive a little bit slower. God forbid you have to save some gas. And that's what Benny does. And he passes me all up immediately. And, of course, in my mind, I want to pass him and speed right by him.
Or sometimes sometimes you want to personally
just in general
give him the good old cop pit maneuver.
Of course, who wouldn't? No, but I just also got a new car, and I am not in the mood to get a new car and then, oh, fuck you, ticket, right away. It's whatever. It happens to the best of us, but you don't exactly want to get a ticket your first couple months of getting a new car. You already have all these payments, or unless you paid off the car, or whatever your situation is. That's just one thing you don't need in your life.
Topping that payment off with yet another payment and possible points to your record if you haven't already gotten a speeding ticket.
Then if you have too many points, and then this recent ticket is an addition, those additional points happens to get you to the exact points you need to go to a driver school online, whatever, whichever.
Which is $250.
Yeah, so you're just
at minimum.
It's just fines after fines. I don't need that. So sorry, I'm not a cool kid like everyone out here, but I'm not going to speed. So Benny passes me up, and it almost feels like he's minutes ahead of me when really it's just seconds, because no one really realizes how fast 75 miles is. And
it's 75 miles.
We get onto, yeah, it's pretty fast, and it's somewhat fast. It's not the fastest, but I get on the on-ramp, and we're almost to our final exit to Buffalo Wild Wings, and there's only one car in front of me. I notice way off in the distance, and I notice, could this have been Benny, the guy who just had to pass me because God forbid I was going so slow? And of course, I get to that stop sign in a matter of 10 seconds after this car does. Sure enough, it is Benny. And for some reason, it might not sound interesting to you guys, but to me, it blew my mind. And everyone in the car got a piece of that also, because I was losing it.
I remember asking you when we got there, didn't you say you didn't even realize that we passed you at one point?
No, I knew you guys passed me. I felt like it was a race at first, because at one point I was like, oh, I'm going to go a little faster than them. And of course, Benny, nope, his girlfriend's in the car. He has to be
rolling like a big shot.
He's got to be a big boy, and vroom, take off and, whatever. Yeah.
Well,
and plus I have all these people in the car, God forbid something happens, I don't need, maybe this is a lesson for everyone too, just realize, stuff can happen, and the last thing you need is have everyone in the car with you while something possibly, which knock on wood of course, horrific might happen, but you don't need to have all of that on top of everything else that might happen. So it's just, I don't know. Moral of the story is speeding worth it just to look cool for your friends or your girlfriend or whoever, or just to impress everyone, or just impress everyone because you got your new sporty looking car that your mom and dad more than likely bought you, or is it all worth it at the end of the day just to look cool for a split second? No.
Especially if you're trying to do it in a Prius and you're tailgating a semi.
Yeah, then
put two and two together. If you rear-ended semi in a Prius, That semi's gonna flip over.
Exactly. But so moral of the story is go out and buy a Prius. Be safe. No, I'm just kidding. If you want to speed, go for it. I'm not stopping you. Who am I to judge you on what you do? I'm just saying though, is if something happens and you're wondering what went wrong, maybe you can look back and be like, wow, those people on that dumb podcast just told us.
Maybe I could
not
have
to
saved
speed.
3 years of paying medical bills by slowing down 2
And on
miles
top of
per
that,
hour.
I'm paying for all the other people's bills in my car for the most part, or I'm paying some fee because I almost killed them, and now they may have possible injuries. And not. Point being,
Don't do it. Drive safe.
road rage is a thing. Driving safe is a nightmare for most people to comprehend for
If
themselves.
you need to, just count backwards from 10. As stupid as it sounds.
Also,
do whatever.
Is it worth it making it to the red light or the stop sign or the yellow light 8 seconds earlier than most other people that you just cut off?
No.
Or unless you're, you just found out your favorite fast food joint or restaurant has. Also, I said joint. I'm apparently from way back when, but
Hashtag 420.
exactly. But I don't know. That's just my take on it. And the road rage kicked in. It's like reverse road rage for me. It's like I don't get road rage when people are driving slow. I get angry at seeing other people road rage. Thus, it's like a weird road rage for myself.
It's contagious for you.
It's a reverse road rage, I like to call it, unless if that's the correct wording of it. But that is
That is the personal story of the day.
that's my personal story.
Yeah.
Do you have a personal story?
I have a personal story, and it actually happened today. I know I'm not the fitness guy, whatever. I do go to the gym every day.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself unhealthy. I just don't find the time. I mean, I have.
Well, I mean, it's a personal choice, and whether or not it's not fitness isn't everything. 20% of how you look, whatever the statistic is from like working out. The other 80% is actually how you eat. So
Of course.
it's not a necessity, but for me, it's something that just keeps me sane.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, today at the gym,
What happened?
Monday, obviously, this is the day we're recording this. Monday is National Chest Day. Memes, anything can tell you that.
National Chest Day.
Yes, everyone's seen it.
Uh-huh.
If you have a Facebook, you've seen this. And at our gym, we have 2 benches and a Smith machine that I dare not even touch. A Smith, you know what that is, right? It's kind of like that mechanical squat rack.
I know what it is. I don't know if some people listening don't know what it is.
It's a mechanical squat rack that can be used as a bench, but
nuke. I'm sorry. Go on.
another nuke.
I know this. You guys can't see this. There is 99% chance you are seeing different gameplay over what we are actually playing. We're playing again. Like May said in the very beginning, we're playing Call of Duty Ghosts on the PS4, and we're just doing it to keep us kind of sane. So we're not just talking. So at least we have something else in the background to not distract us or make us lose our minds after talking for so long.
Right.
I'm sorry. Go on though. I just want to throw that in the
But anyway, there's this guy in the gym.
Uh-huh.
And I get to the gym. I'm already pumped up. I took my C4, and he decides it's necessary to take up 1 bench, the Smith machine, and a 3rd just random bench. That's you could do dumbbells, that whatever. And I ask him, I'm like, "Hey man, how many sets do you have left on the bench?" And he tells me, "Too many." And I ask him, I'm like, "Okay,
Too many.
give me a number." Yeah, too many.
That's a very specific.
It's a very
answer.
asshole move, by the way. But
Nice.
he told me too many,
Nice.
and I told him, I'm just like, "Can you give me an approximate number, man? Maybe I could just work in with you." And he's like, "No, man. I just want to do my supersets." And keep in mind, this guy looks like a fucking 300-pound lineman that plays for the U of A.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. He plays college football. That's all I know about him. And he tells me, he's like, "Oh, you just go do dumbbells." I'm just like, bro, it's gonna take 2 seconds to put those weights back on. Let me get my stuff in and get on with my day. Get on, workout, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And that guy was just like the cherry on top of the icing of the shitty day, because the rest of the gym packed, and Lord behold, National Chest Day, every other bench taken So what do I have to do? I have to sit there on my C4 looking like a crack addict because my face is itchy.
Oh, your C4.
Yes. That C4 is literally like legal methamphetamine, whatever.
And if you don't work out,
you will start twitching, you will start jerking. And that guy, I'm pretty sure he didn't understand if I had explained it to him that I was on C4. Maybe the scenario would have ended up different. But the fact that he was doing supersets when we have such limited equipment really, really pisses me off.
That's annoying.
Yeah.
Or at least it sounds annoying. Coming from a dude who doesn't go to the gym and all that. I know, voice crack. I know. You know, I don't know exactly everything. I mean, I don't consider myself unfit, unhealthy.
But even if you're not an avid gym goer,
I just think about how annoying some of the people that go to gyms are, and oh my god, like how annoyed I get with people. I just can't picture myself waking up one day going, you know what, I need to change my life health-wise for the better. I'm gonna go to the gym. If I got there and I'm the person where if I see people like how one just leaves, if I see people. You know, I understand when people are at the gym, they're getting into it, you know, like, just like really grunting and everything, whatever. But I remember I used to go to the gym many years ago, and I would see people doing that, but for the absolute dumbest things. Just like they're doing very little weights and all that, but they're acting like they're picking up half a building or something.
Oh, are you talking about when they have like 15s?
But they're asking for attention, they're just grunting, and they're all over the place, and just,
okay, yeah,
fuck!
But let's make it clear that we're not talking like that we go to Planet Fitness or something like that. No,
that's
we don't care about that. If you're putting up 300, 250, whatever on bench, and you're on your last set, it's reasonable to be grunting. But there are times where I'm at the gym, and there's a guy, he has 15s in his hand, he's on incline bench press, and he's grunting because he's trying to look cool for his friends that are spotting him.
That's the reason why they do that all the time also,
Yeah.
is because, you know, obviously there's the hot girl and
keep in mind, half the people that are at the gym are either there to look good for themselves, whatever, or make themselves a better person,
show off,
or be the most egotistical person that they can be.
That's why I don't go places like that, because I get really annoyed at seeing people like that, and eventually I will snap and I will tell them, like, can you please, and I'll tell them this politely, can you please shut the fuck up? Like,
is there a polite way to say that?
A polite way to say shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
No, honestly, if you're saying shut the
fuck up.
But
if you had to attempt to say shut the fuck up,
okay, I have a really good way to say shut the fuck up. Can you please shut the fuck up?
Oh, okay.
There we go. Okay. But,
manners come first, right?
Of course, common courtesy. But I don't know. That's not exactly the main reason why I don't go to the gym. It's just a matter of I'm just too busy and all that. But yeah, it's with work and everything. But I don't know. I don't know. That's just my problem with the gym. Just, you know, I don't know. Especially
and the fact that you're gonna run into a lot of people like I did today.
Out in the area that we live in, which most of the people listening to this podcast, the first one right here, right now,
are going to be locals. They'll understand.
They're going to be locals. They'll already know when we say gym. They're going to know exactly what we're talking about. But if somehow we reach people way out a ways, I'm not, at least right now, not ready to like disclose every bit of where we are and all that. Which why does it matter to you guys anyway? But the gym specifically that Manny and my friend Juan, who's really silent over here, go to. You know, it's a really nice gym. They have a lot of equipment. It's very big. TVs all over the place. All up to date. Everything. Very fancy. That being said, we're going to throw it in here. Like 75% of the people that I see go there, and at least when I went a long time ago, from all the stories I hear especially, I'm not exactly one to judge, but
the best way to sum it up is they're ignorant, egotistical people.
And it's just weird because there's such a nice gym and all that, but such, you know,
they think that
crap people.
Yeah, they think that it's the crappiest place, so they want the nicest stuff. They think
if one thing doesn't go their way,
yeah,
I don't know. That's just that's stupid. But yeah, so
that's it for that personal story.
That's our thoughts. That's our 20 minutes.
If you have any comments, just spam the comment section with whatever you think for each topic.
However you feel. If you disagree with us completely, which newsflash, we probably won't care. But no, I mean we might care.
Yeah,
If you're an ass about it, we won't give the slightest.
Yeah, if you write Dicks Man in the comments,
we might start comics too. Actually, he's right. No, that's if you whatever you guys. And if there's anything else you want us to discuss, go ahead and tell us, because if you do, 99% chance, especially with how low we are right now, by low I mean new, we will more than likely actually talk about that if you suggest something to us. As long as it's reasonable.
Yeah, reasonable, like asking for advice, whatever.
Yes.
But I'm not going to do your math homework for you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I hate math anyway. And if I actually would love to do it for you, I'll fail you and I'll ruin your life for you. Okay. So, with that, at our 20-minute mark now,
we're finally going to get into games.
We're actually going to talk about the main point of our podcast.
Why you're probably here, maybe.
Our podcast will consist of games, but we will start off with personal stories to keep you sane and kind of just keep everything a little even.
Kind of keep you up to with what we're doing that isn't on the site.
I would like to talk about sponsors, but unfortunately we're too new to have sponsors, and God forbid if we talk about something, we'll probably get in trouble, because that's what most cool podcasts that you more likely listen. That's what more podcasts do. A lot of the bigger podcasts that you probably listen to, they always stop in the middle, or every like 20 minutes, like, all right, this is brought to you by.
Or like they'll pop open some sort of drink and be like, sponsored by this drink.
This
label facing towards camera.
This Coca-Cola is amazing. I didn't actually say what it really was, so I don't get in trouble. All right, so games.
Destiny. That's coming up here pretty soon. That's next month, right?
Destiny is coming out. We could talk about it while we are. I will look. I got you. I'll look for it. It's coming out in September. Actually, September.
I was in Comic-Con when the beta was out, right?
I hate you for that.
But did you get a chance to actually play the beta? Or
I actually played the alpha because at E3 they were just talking about it during Sony's, because Destiny's coming out for every platform, but so they're really favoriting Sony more. It seems like more of a favorite because Sony really we after E3 they're like, all right guys, this coming weekend you will be able to play the alpha of it. It's not even the beta. Whatever you see in the alpha most of the times is what you're going to see in the beta and the final result of the game. But still, you guys get to play the alpha this weekend, 2 to 3 days, I believe it was, only on the PS4, nothing else. So everyone, lost their shit, was all excited. You had to sign up for it too, from what I remember, and of course the site crashed, had a stroke right there, and I could not get to it because so many people tried doing it. A buddy of mine, his name's Justin, he got a hold of like 3 or 4 codes, whatever, and he's like, hey, do you want one? And I was like, well, of course. I tried getting one. I was not lucky, but he gave me a Destiny alpha code, and I played the living crap out of it, and it wasn't really too much going on, but I really liked it. I guess I wasn't going crazy.
Well, I mean, also another thing that's kind of like a slap you from Bungie is not only was the alpha hard to get into, but the people that did get into the alpha or that alpha and specifically the more secluded one that was harder to get into, they didn't get anything special because Lord behold, later on when you could actually pre-order the game, it wasn't really
M&Ms.
Wow, M&Ms. It wasn't really said that you would get more than one beta code with your Destiny pre-order. Like when I got mine, it gave me 4 codes. I don't know how many it gave it.
I didn't even reserve the game, and I woke up like this is like a few days after it came out, because at first it was like you need to reserve the game, and if you reserve the game, you will get a beta code. Obviously, all the people who had the beta for that period of time, they got it from their pre-order. Then afterwards, so many people started getting random codes, and obviously Twitter blew up, and everyone was trying to become Twitter famous of, hey, retweet me and you may get Destiny code, lols. And then it was this real dumb shit typed out like that. It was literally typed out lols, really stupid sounding. Lols is LOL, but spelled really stupid and said really stupid. But then after a while, a few days after that happens, I wake up.
Go ahead, Juan. Open your chips, man.
Hold on.
You can do it.
Oh yeah. Also, what I was saying earlier, Destiny will still come out September 9th. I was supposed to say that in the very beginning of this topic, but I never did. So you're gonna hear chewing now. But yeah, I woke up a few days after the beta came out, and I got an email saying, you're in the Destiny beta. I got a code for PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, which I own both consoles. I'm like, oh wow. I mean, I already have
Which
the
one
beta.
did you play it on?
PS4. I there's no reason to play it on PS3 for me. I already have the PS4, so it's like, I mean, obviously the graphics and gameplay will be a little different. I know it's not gonna, I mean, it will be different, not drastically different, but it'll be different. And then eventually, it came to the point for Xbox One where you just turned on the damn thing, and it was just like, would you like to begin your download for Destiny? It's like, oh my god. So, just like, you could just go to the store and download it from what I heard. So it's just like, after, it's just marketing in the very beginning. You need to reserve it to get it. And obviously, even if you cancel the reserves, no matter what, Bungie's going to be like, well, look at our, look at our ratings we got from all these reserves. Look at how big this was. That's just, it's just, a way to get you to reserve the game, so they'll have a big, statistic to show you of how many people reserve their game. Just because they were just being real gimmicky, I guess, with the beta, like, reserve it and get all this stuff now, but then eventually you would have got it no matter what, reserving it or not.
I didn't get to play it, but I believe that the people that did participate in the beta, they get some sort of exclusive item when the game actually comes out, right?
You would think, yeah.
I believe so, but
Yeah,
you played it, so people are saying, like, I hate the fact that people have to compare games nowadays, like, oh my god, this thing's a lot like Call of Duty. But I mean, like,
this is like Halo mixed with Call of Duty,
like,
mixed with a tad bit of I'm not a fan
How
of
would you
that. But
describe
unfortunately, people will always be like that. They will always compare everything to something, and it is once in a blue moon when you see some game come out. Like, whenever you see a first-person shooter, the immediate, basic, typical thing to do is, oh look, it's just another COD clone, just dressed a little bit better, meaning the graphics are a little better, and it'll have that one different thing of, wow, look at Levolution or whatever, like Battlefield and all that, and it's just...
But did Destiny have any of this?
Honestly, Destiny, to me, which everyone else is saying it, and I'm not saying it because they are, I played it for a while, and I guess I have to agree, and I'm kind of saying it for myself now. Destiny is Borderlands, but just really fancy looking-ish. It's not exactly Borderlands, but when I play it, I feel... out of all the games, especially first-person shooters, when I compare it, it's basically, it feels a little bit like Borderlands and all that. And I remember everyone was bragging and saying, like, how huge this game was going to be, like how open it would be, which it is. And obviously, we just played the alphas and the betas of it. You can't really judge it off of that, but you would think they would at least give you a taste of one level where you can play the entire thing, which I believe that was the case at some point, but it was really open. But that's the problem with games that are open world nowadays, where they claim that it's the size of a fucking state in real life. Sure, it's all open, but there's nothing ever to do in such a wide open area. It's always just land and a few little bumps here and there. That's it.
I think I can disagree with that, because with games like, well, I mean, obviously Borderlands was a pretty famous game, but
I liked it.
Of course there were areas where you were either running into the same mob or whatever that you'd be facing for the next 30 to 40 minutes until you hit the next boss.
No, what I'm saying though is, like, when I say open world, I'm saying, like, people, like, you'll play the game, you'll do the campaigns, side objectives, whatever. But when they say open world, you would think, like, there would be stuff to do, not a part of the campaign, more of just, you just roam, like Grand Theft Auto
such
style.
as, like, mini games that you can find, or side quests.
Or just something decent to do, but really it's just an open map. When I say nothing to do, I legitimately mean you walk around, that's it. Like, that's what they brag about. And it's
another thing that Bungie's really notorious for doing, like, especially with Halo and whatnot, they really, really like going into the detail of the scenery.
I like that. That's what Destiny is too. It is. I'm not saying Destiny is, like, too small or anything. It is really. It's a big area for the most part. Or some of the areas that I played in, it's really big. It is really detailed. I like that. I like when they take time to do that. It's really, 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 really detailed.
So, in your opinion, would you say Destiny is worth buying on, like, the Xbox or
honestly,
the PS4?
I think Destiny is beyond worth buying. I think everyone should buy it. It is, yes, a first-person shooter. You've played one, you've played them all, blah, blah, blah. You've already heard that analogy. It's just... I just really like what they're doing with it, and just in general, it's by Bungie. Of course, everyone's like, wow, this feels exactly like Halo at some points, which, well, of course, because Bungie made a really good game, and obviously they're starting a new franchise. They're going to add some elements from their other past games into it. If it worked back then, screw it. Why not make it work now? Just reskin it a little bit.
That's a little back and forth, see, because people have been complaining about games like Call of Duty we'll get more into later, but like games like Call of Duty or Halo, where they add one or two things, but they keep the gameplay similar,
Mm-hmm.
or they even cut and paste. I hate saying that, but possibly cut and paste.
Yeah.
And it's the same game, and everyone says, "Oh, that's stupid. Why don't they try something new?" Because that's the thing. When they try something new, everyone's gonna just
everyone hates it.
yeah, they're gonna shit on it. They're gonna be like, "Why did you add that element in? Now it changed the whole game." Well, no shit. That's why they added it in. They want to change everything. They want new. They want to see if you like anything else. Not, oh, more guns. They do the same thing. They kill people. Whoop-de-doo, Basil.
Yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm on edge of buying Destiny. I don't play games nearly as much as I used to back then. Our friend Juan just threw a flash grenade at someone. It just bounced off their head. It just looked funny. You didn't see that though. I'm sorry. I don't know. I probably will be buying it, but at the same time, okay, yeah. What I was saying earlier, I don't play games as much. I don't have as much time just because of work. When I do have free time, I just don't find myself playing games. I find myself doing other activities and all that.
Well, that'll actually bring us into our next topic, like games.
So
like
buy Destiny. Just buy it.
Like the Halo Master Chief Collection is going to be coming out pretty soon.
That I am buying, and that will probably ruin my life like it used to back then of playing way too many games because I love Halo, especially
Halo 2.
I was going to say Halo 3.
Oh, Halo 3.
Both are good. There's nothing wrong. Honestly, I don't think Halo 4 was exactly the world. It was good. It wasn't the world. It was nowhere near Halo.
Anything innovating. It was supposed to be the craziest, most innovating game.
And it wasn't. Well, I mean, it was good. I'm not saying
it wasn't bad, but I mean, it wasn't
bad.
what we were expecting.
It was good. It wasn't bad, but it also wasn't great, but I don't know. What I'm actually, this is dead serious. Actually, I'm legit asking. Like, what is it? Like, I know there's Halo 2 multiplayer. Like, there's 100 maps. Is that maps from Halo 3 also?
It's what it is. I watched them do the reveal the other day, and it's gonna be redone maps from Halo 2.
I know that, but they say like 100 maps.
Yes,
I know they had some deal.
There's some game or some maps like Coagulation, the notorious red versus blue one that you'll see. But then they also have the old Coagulation where it will be low texture, whatnot. Then they'll have the newer version. Like another easy example is Lockout and Blackout. Lockout is Halo 2's original, which I don't remember if it's going to be revamped or not, but they do have Blackout in there as well. Blackout is Halo 3's version of Lockout that you could later purchase.
Because they say 100 maps, so it's like it's going to be Halo 2 multiplayer. And they also said too that they were bringing the stats back. That's actually a serious thing.
They're bringing all the stats back. But for some of you unlucky people that weren't able to play Halo 2 when it was online, you're going to be starting new like everyone else. But
I was a decent rank, but of course I lost my account, my account. I forgot the password to it, and then eventually I found out the password to my account name.
We get to see who was a hacker back then because no one could legitly get to, what was it, like level 50, which was a shape of a Halo?
I can't remember. I don't know. Halo 3 was my main Halo. I loved Halo 2 and Halo 1, of course, but Halo 3 is what made me a happy little girl on the inside. And what is it, 2007 it came out, right? Jesus.
Wasn't that 2007 that Halo 3 came out?
Jesus, that was a long time ago. But
I'm old.
That's how I feel right now. But and
Juan is our notorious Halo Reach player over here.
Juan loves Halo, or at least he loved. We'll say he's.
I remember he would constantly call me and be like, hey dude, so you want to get on Halo Reach later tonight?
He would just always talk about Reach and always watch montages on YouTube of like special kills or slow-mo vids or like of like sniper kills.
What was your KD ratio, Juan?
What was it?
My KD ratio was around 31,000.
31,000?
11,000.
Wait, so 33,000 kills and 11,000
I lost my guitar
deaths?
pick.
Yep.
Oh, there it is.
Oh man.
Oh, there we go. So yeah, Juan wasn't talking at all. We have to
embarrass him somehow.
You're a special guest. We have to make you special. We don't want you just as a guest.
Right here, I'm gonna throw a picture of his face right now on just randomly on the screen.
All right, and here it is. Here's another one, and there you go. That's all you get. Maybe there's another one I can't tell. But
anyway, this game. If you have an Xbox One, you better buy this. I will smack you in the face if you don't buy it.
I think everyone always asks, will this help the Xbox One sales? Like, maybe
I
sell
believe
more
so.
consoles? I think it will. Halo,
Halo was the game that everyone bought an Xbox 360 for. They heard Halo 3 was going to be coming to Xbox 360. They saw the trailers. They're like, boom, I'm going to go buy an Xbox 360.
The beta came with Crackdown back then when betas worked where you had to buy a game to get the beta.
Well, some of them still do that, like Wolfenstein.
Very little now, though. Back then, it was like a treat. I was like, oh my god, I don't want to buy this game, but the beta, I'll be able to play before everyone else. This is before when you'd find out all about your gaming news and all that. You did it through like magazines. The internet obviously was around and kicking. That's when the internet was really picking up then. But for that kind of stuff, I would always go to school, like with my Game Pro magazines or something like that, and we would always gather around and read it like, whoa, look what they're gonna bring and all that. Now it's just the internet, everything gets leaked, you find out right away. It's just not as exciting as it once was. But Halo, I just remember every issue of like a Game Informer, anything gaming magazine wise I got talked about Halo, I would lose it and I would show all my friends who were
there was
excited.
even old things like Inside Halo that I would go crazy for. And it was just because
Halo
the franchise Halo Waypoint as well.
Well, that's
I didn't go too crazy for that actually.
well, that's not a game though.
It's a service, I want to say.
Yeah.
But like
Wait.
I would be the one that would be looking up how to do super jumps in Halo 2.
That was fun.
That was probably one of the most fun times I've ever had because I don't know how old I was. I think I might have. Oh, there's your ringtone.
Sorry.
But I might have been like 11. I don't know how old I was when Halo 2 was around.
Damn it.
But I was definitely a squeaker. I'm not gonna lie.
We all were.
Yeah, we all were at one point. But I would be up till like 5 in the morning figuring out how to get out of the barriers using a combination of the tank and Ghost. And I would do the Stairway to Heaven. I don't know. It was all so much fun, and I'm really hoping that
it's nice that it's coming back. And what's nice, like, just we get to relive all that again.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, and what's nice is there's going to be two ways you can play it. You can play it as the 343 Industries way, where it's all reskinned. It won't look completely different, but it'll just be reskinned in their eyes. And then they said, I believe there will be the old school look.
Kind of like how they did with the Halo Anniversary Edition, right?
Yeah, when they had it reskin, but then also if you didn't like that, you could just play how it initially was built, like how it looked.
I didn't see. Can you do that with the multiplayer?
I believe they said you can. That's why everyone freaked out, because everyone was like, "Oh wow, you can play it both ways. That's cool." But then they showed it off in the multiplayer, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" Just no matter what, reskinned or not, Halo is Halo, and it's still gonna play the same either way. Looks, no matter what the looks of it are. So it's just nice. I'm excited to replay the Halo 3 campaign. I have my Halo 3 somewhere over there. I'm over in my dress.
He's pointing somewhere. You can't see
my counter, but I love that game. That my Halo 3 disc is even cracked down the middle horribly, and I still can get it to run if I want to. It's just I would never go out and buy another one. It just wouldn't feel the same to me. But I don't know. I love Halo 3. I love Halo in general. I love the story of it. Halo 3 though will just always be a personal favorite of mine. Also a personal favorite of the whole series of Halo so far. And I don't know. I'm just excited to rebuy it. Just on one disc, you're getting all
4 games,
and on top of that, you're getting your invitation to Halo 5 when that's available, which I believe they said December.
Something like that.
That's when it'll be released, I think.
Yes.
December, January, unless they delay it, because companies love to delay nowadays. And then you also get access to like little series that they're making. Halo, I forgot the name of it.
It's like
it's a show.
Live action thing. They were debuting.
It's all exclusive to the people who will buy this or something, or unless they. I'm not too sure. I really don't even want to keep talking about it because I want to keep throwing BS at everyone. But that it is something like that. But yeah, so Halo Master Chief Collection, we are all gonna buy it. If you own an Xbox One or you need to be convinced to buy an Xbox One, and you're like, oh, it's not gonna make
take a look at the gameplay.
Just if especially if you even somewhat like Halo, you don't love it, but it's kind of like, I guess I'll get back in it. I think it is enough to buy an Xbox One, especially now that they don't include the Kinect anymore. So now it's $100 cheaper.
Oh, thank God! Motion gaming is gonna be gone soon.
What do you call it? It's right by the holidays. If anything, maybe mommy and daddy will buy it for you. Who knows? Or your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever the hell you have. we'll buy it for you, maybe, you know, so you won't have to spend a penny. It's just, it's coming out right around the holidays, which, you know, they could release it right now if they want, but obviously holidays, they'll make bank off it. They'll make bank off it whenever they release it.
Exactly.
So, Master Chief Collection, exciting. So, our now
next
we
topic
got
is pretty much.
that out of the way. The next
Are
topic.
you gonna get Call of Duty? Because in my
Are you
opinion,
gonna buy the new Call of Duty Advanced Warfare?
it's a dead game walking. It's a zombie of a game. Like, I saw the gameplay of it. I guess I was almost convinced by the fact that it was being developed by new studios. Who was it?
Sledgehammer.
Yes.
They made the multiplayer for Call of Duty.
Titanfall. I thought.
No, Ghost. Like Call of Duty Ghost, the campaign and all that was Infinity Ward. The multiplayer was Sledgehammer Games.
They had.
Now this Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Sledgehammer is the whole thing. Like,
yeah, I
they're
thought.
doing
But
it
didn't
now.
Sledgehammer have something to do with Titanfall?
No.
No.
Huh.
But anyway.
No, God, no. They're strictly in the Call of Duty and all that. No.
Well, like,
Respawn Entertainment did all.
I just like the fact that
Titanfall.
they're adding new aspects, kind of like Titanfall,
the
with, like, the
jetpack,
double jumps and all that.
sliding all over,
making it actual lasers, like futuristic, how they should have gone to make it new in the first time around. But in my opinion,
It's not enough.
It's
to convince.
definitely not enough to convince me to buy it. I'm not gonna drop 60 bones. Maybe if it was like $20 or I get it free with like games with gold, I might be convinced.
Which will happen 4 years after it comes out.
Yeah, because there'll be 8 more Call of Duties afterwards that just got
Exactly.
released.
And I might be completely wrong by this. I read something now where I know that every year they release a new Call of Duty. I don't know if I misread it. I'm gonna go back and look later on. I could look right now if I wanted to. Apparently they're gonna start making it a 3-year cycle where they'll release a Call of Duty, wait a couple years.
Oh, kind of like how
then-
Halo was doing.
Yeah, because that's what they need to start doing. Because it's, of course, you know, it's kind of like, this is stupid. They keep releasing Call of Duty every year. This is so stupid. Of course, Activision would be stupid to stop doing that because it makes them money.
There's a bit of a rebuttal for that because there's other games that seem to be following this trend. Like I know Halo has kind of fallen into this trend.
Halo 4 especially.
Yeah.
Looks a lot like it.
But even with like Assassin's Creed's a big one.
I like Assassin's Creed, but yeah, this year they're releasing. Every year there's an Assassin's Creed game. This year they're releasing 2. There's Assassin's Creed Unity and Assassin's Creed Rogue, I think it is.
I believe.
I'll look that up right now, but for right now, at this moment, it will be Rogue. But yeah, the Rogue, one will be on, the way you say it now, is last gen.
And on top of that, like, there was DLC for Black Flag, I believe. And
Black Flag was cool.
Yeah, they made a standalone game off of one of the DLCs.
Yeah, you didn't even have to have the game. You just got that. That was pretty cool, I think.
Well, I mean, it was cool, but honestly, I feel like they have too much on their plate at this point.
It is Assassin's Creed Rogue. It is Assassin's Creed Rogue, by the way.
Someone new getting into the series, they couldn't really bask in the glory like how Assassin's Creed 1 and 2 was because there's just so many out there, you don't know which one to choose.
Yeah. Oh, I thought he was getting another beer. I'm like, God damn, one, chill out. But yeah, I love Assassin's Creed. You know, I'm just used to it at this point. I'm excited for Assassin's Creed Unity. I don't think I'll be buying it, but I like what they're doing with it and just
kind of same opinions with like the whole new Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, right?
It looks cool, and I'm excited to see it. Will I be buying it? Probably not.
Yes.
For Juan, he might get it. He says.
You might get it.
Sorry.
I might.
Because it's coming out for everything, I think. Yeah, well, yeah, that would be foolish of them not to release it on every console. Whenever we say current gen, it's still in everyone's mind to want to say. Actually, I need to look at my phone real fast. It's still it's whenever you say current gen, it's like, oh, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. No, the realization of it is now current gen is PlayStation 4, Xbox One, I guess Wii U. No one cares.
Yeah.
But everyone's crowding up right here. This is really frustrating. But what do you call it? I don't know. It's just I don't know. I'm excited to see everything. It's just I don't know. It's just of course these games are making the companies money. Of course, all of us want them to stop. But again, if you were the person, the the man in charge of all this, and you saw how much money it makes, no matter how much people are crying, bitching about it, stop doing this. If it's making you money, no matter what, you are going to just constantly every year release this product that is going to keep bringing you in all this money. Why would you stop doing that? Of course,
we want money.
That's what they're saying. And of course, if you were in a business like
money
this,
buys happiness.
If you are in a business like this, of course you're going to want to constantly keep every year, all right, we're making another Call of Duty. And of course, no matter what everyone cries about, but then you look at the sales and people just buy the living piss out of this game, and it's just whatever. Who cares how many people cry? If it's making you money, you're gonna keep doing it.
And it's funny because
as much as you don't want them to.
There's a few I guess news broadcasts about this. I don't know what they called it. That call this Call of Duty anyway in specific.
Mm-hmm.
The sales or pre-orders have gone down, but it has actually been expected, and Lord behold, to be the most purchased Call of Duty yet.
What? Which one?
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
They were. What were we saying right now? Like
they're saying that. Well, it went down in pre-orders.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They're saying this one. I mean, it's still gonna sell.
It's
10,000 million copies, but
is it going to sell as much as they're anticipating?
Because because everyone's a little spooked by Call of Duty Ghosts because Call of Duty Ghosts this that and it came out and it was not.
It was not what everyone was expecting.
It wasn't good, just with everything. It was just your typical Call of Duty. Just every year it's just going to go down. Whereas now people, the pre-orders aren't exactly up there yet because people are wanting to rebuild the trust in the series. And it's like, all right, a new developer is making it, decent, better, I guess, looking graphics, new gameplay mechanics and all that. Maybe a different engine they're building it on for the most part. People are kind of convinced by it. They've already showed off, the first teaser trailer for it many months ago. They just recently showed off the multiplayer gameplay, and obviously there's gameplay all over YouTube now of this Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. The game is obviously complete for the most part.
When's it come out?
November 4th, I believe, but now they have the whole thing where if you reserve it, you get some 24-hour early access thing where you get it a day. It's just a thing to make you buy it, which is, I guess, cool because I've never seen that before.
It's incentive to be like, I played it a day earlier than you, man.
Yeah, and I don't know. And of course, people will prestige, 2.5 times, within that day, which I don't know. But it's just, I don't know. It's
my thing is, I would want to go to see how many 5-year-olds drag their parents to the midnight release just to gain access to this.
Yeah, and their mom and dad is just wondering, what the fuck, man?
Why am I here? Timmy, why did I let you bring me here?
Why did I even have you? But it's,
oh my God.
It's just really, yeah, I don't know. I just can't stand Call of Duty. I'll play it once in a while, but and obviously everyone's this whole stereotypical of, it's just a bunch of 12-year-olds. People say that because a lot of the times that's all they hear. Where it's not the case all the time, but every time I ironically play, I have a 12-year-old telling me what he's gonna do to my mother when she gets home from work later tonight. It's just, I don't know. It's just every time too. It's just it's just crazy how these parents let these kids get away with what they say. I don't care what the fuck they say. It's just at the same time, it just makes me appalled. Like, if I had a kid and I heard him cussing like that, when I have
they're gonna get swift backhand.
When I have kids and I hear them even I cuss like a sailor at times. In this podcast, I've cussed a few times. It's a miracle I haven't cussed that much yet. But if I have kids and they're at that young of an age, I know they're gonna cuss. Their kids are kids. Help yourself. Now he's getting some lifesavers.
Thank you.
No problem. But it's just if I have a kid and if I hear my kid, boy, girl, whatever, playing COD, any game, anything cuss, oh my God, I will just lose it probably. I don't want to be a hypocrite about it because I know I did it too kind of when I was a kid and started cussing a lot, but I don't know. It's
been more desensitized today.
I don't need, a video game causing my children anger. And that's, I don't know, that's kind of sad.
Here's the scenario. Say you were to buy Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. God,
it's all the same. You don't have to worry.
Which console would you buy it on? Because it's a big debate on.
I hate that.
Which one's better? The Xbox One got 5 stars. But the PS4 got 6 stars out of 5.
I will throw it in there to stir the pot of all the console war nerds out there that the PlayStation 4 has been the best-selling console for the past 7 months in a row. Anyway. I guess I should be the one to answer that. Well, okay, Manny owns an Xbox One. I own an Xbox One. And
both Nakuma and I own pretty much every single console there is, except he owns the PS4 and I have yet to buy one.
So people always ask me because everyone, at first I was kind of quiet about it. I was like, I don't need people to know I own all that. Now everyone knows, obviously, not, which whatever.
But no one cares.
Yeah, that's the thing. Why no one should care. I would be upset at you if you did even care. But people always ask me, like, so which one's better, this or that? And now the whole thing, everyone argues, well, the PlayStation 4 has 1080p, whereas Microsoft Live, it's at like
You're not going to notice that, though.
Yeah, you're not.
Unless you have some sort of high definition system.
It's up to your television. Yeah, it's just the frame rate's not the same. It's all crap. No, just buy whatever makes you happy. Honestly, they're both so similar, minus the exclusives, the cameras, and now they're both the same price. Before the Xbox One cost $100 more
because the Xbox One was like a glorified DVD player when it came out,
and then the PlayStation 4 was a glorified Facebook and Twitter system. But obviously,
and now they've both just gotten smart and really shown off all their games.
When it comes down to it, to me, the best gaming console is the PlayStation 4 because it focuses on games so much, whereas the Xbox One, now they're really focusing towards games, and all, which is amazing. But it is also an entertainment system, which I'm not saying that in a bad way whatsoever. It is a great entertainment system.
But we could do without it. Like, we don't need that.
You don't need it, but if you really do, it is really good for that. I can tell you that because I have both. I use both constantly, as much as I can at least, when I have the time, free time, spare time, and all. They are both really good consoles, and it's just kind of like, if you're that confused on what you want to buy, whichever one, I'll just tell you to buy a PC then, and just build the crap out of it, upgrade it as much as you can. There you go, because honestly, what you really should be doing is probably a PC, just because there's constantly more sales, the graphics will look a lot better, you can have so much more options with everything, mods especially, just the list, it keeps going, whereas consoles,
you're really kind of strict to the vanilla, whatever they give you, unless you're really good at using a dev kit.
Yeah, but no, that being said, not everyone needs a PC. I don't even have a PC, I prefer the consoles, but at the same time, there are days where it's like, I kind of wish I had a PC, but whatever, but I don't really like answering which console to buy. It's up to you because they're both the same price. They both offer the same games for the most part. They all do the same thing. They all have special services you have to pay for. They all have the same 12-year-olds that are going to tell you what they're going to do to your mother when she gets home. It's all the same stuff. It's all the same. I own both. I can't really choose. It's like, what do you prefer? At the end of the day, no matter what I say, Sony and Microsoft have my money. It should not matter.
Honestly, I think it really goes on personal preference. Yeah, it's up to you because
do you like exclusives? Then you love Halo or Space Up. There you go. Halo.
Yeah, if I had to choose one, because I know Metal Gear is now going multi-platform on the Xbox and PS4, which is the main reason I bought the PlayStation 3. I bought it for Metal Gear.
Now it's kind of so you have an Xbox One. You like Metal
I
Gear,
would personally go for Xbox One because it's gonna have I'm really biased when I say it's going to have a bigger fan base, but in my eyes, on the exclusive games, you're going to be able to jump in and just start a fun game with some random people, maybe have some fun interactions, which I know they happen on the PS4, whatever, but I am a big Halo fan, and that's probably why I'm going towards the Xbox One versus someone that likes what's Infamous?
Oh, Infamous. No, Infamous, Uncharted, The Last of Us.
Yeah, those are all really good games too. I beat The Last of Us, and I cried at the beginning scene. By the way,
Sly Cooper, God of War. I'm just naming all Sony's exclusives. So it's just, at the end of the day, if you're just looking at it as just for the games and all that, both have good games. That's really, we can't answer that for you. That's up to that's your own judgment.
No one
if you're gonna look at it as which one's selling the best, and obviously PlayStation 4. Or if you want it just for entertainment purposes and maybe some games on the side, go get an Xbox seat. It just goes back and forth. There's no point arguing over it. I honestly hate that question. Just buy whatever makes you happy. At the end of the day, who's the real winner here? You are, because you bought what you wanted. There you go. Voila.
But what's cool is that I heard that they're going to be releasing a PS4 that's going to be coming with a PlayStation Vita. But
I heard them talking about that. I haven't heard anything since.
If they do that,
that would be amazing.
Would that make the Vita worth buying? Like, would that?
I like what you did there. I think that would be a great thing. I already own a Vita. Me and Manny both own Vitas, PlayStation Vitas.
Dust gatherers.
Oh, I play mine like crazy. We're gonna talk about that right now, and I'm really gonna get into it probably. I think it would be nice because the Vita and the PlayStation 4 really go together well. For many different reasons, which I'm not going to get too detailed because we're already going long into this. I don't want to keep adding to it, but I think it would be really good to bundle it. Just maybe even add a little bit of a discount out of it. Not make it. Obviously, it'll cost more, but don't make it too much. Make it seem like you're getting a decent deal on it. Where if you compare the current price of the Vita now to the PlayStation 4 and you add it together, you're obviously it's going to be a large sum. And that'd be nice if Sony took $50 or even $100 off of that overall price tag. That would be really nice.
And especially like since the PS Vita isn't going to have any AAA titles apparently, which is a possibility. It's not for sure.
Yeah, Sony said that there's possibly not going to be. I read stuff where it's like no more AAA titles forever. It's just going to be an indie console at this point, which I guess I'm sure we'll see more down the road. I personally don't think there's anything wrong with indie games. I absolutely love indie games just because, you know, these whenever it's a AAA title, it's always, you know, a typical.
Look at Minecraft. That was originally an indie game, and look at it now. It's one of the top sellers.
Yeah, it's huge. I'm not the world's biggest fan of it. I love it. I love it. Wow, I like it. Excuse me, but I'm not in love with it.
Love's too strong of a word, man. For
that game, of course, it's too early. But yeah, I don't know. Whereas indie games though, just like whenever you think of a AAA title, it's always like a crazy first person shooter or some crazy third person shooter, you know, just the typical stuff we've already seen with a few different things added and really, you know, pretty looking graphics. But I like indie titles because they're always so trippy, wonky, and all different. There's a game on my Vita I was playing last night. I forgot the name of it, but
wasn't it like some sort of platformer?
It was like a platformer, puzzler, mind-boggling game. It was awesome, and the game initially cost like $14, but if you have PlayStation Plus, you get it for free. So I'm a member with PlayStation Plus, so I got it for free.
In my eyes, that's what mobile game or mobile platforms like the PS Vita are meant for. They're meant for platformers. They're meant for small games like that, not some big AAA title. Like I'm not gonna be playing Call of Duty Ghost against my buddy next door with a PS Vita. That's just
it's not meant for that.
You could
with the Vita actually if you like link your PS4 to I forgot what it's called, but you can stream it on your Vita and you technically can't play. The Vita is basically remote from the PlayStation 4.
It's not meant
That's pretty
for that,
cool
though. Like
no, it's close, kind of. That's what they're really advertising. That's why if they were to bundle it, that would be a huge thing.
Of course.
Oh, excuse me. I would like that. Here comes Juan's big bite of a chip. Nice.
Well then.
All right.
But if I would not buy it, in my opinion nowadays, don't buy the PS Vita if it's alone. If you're gonna buy,
if you're buying it, I'll answer. If you're buying it and you're expecting, there are a lot of games for it. Everyone says there's no games. Whenever people say that, that's because the games that are out for it suck. Thus, there's no games for it. When it comes to AAA titles, there are a few really good ones on there, which I absolutely like. I don't know if you consider Tearaway. There's a game called Tearaway for it, which I
would consider that just it's not indie game.
But it's made from the people who made Little Big Planet, and that was a AAA game though. That was never indie. That was a big game. So it's up to you. People
know about it though.
It's up to you on that. That was once a Vita exclusive, but as of a few days ago, they said, "Yep, now Tearaway's coming to the PlayStation 4," and everyone got all crazy butthurt about it because
that was your favorite game too.
I really liked it actually. It really brought out the Vita's features. No other developers did what they did, which took them 2 years to finally do it, but it was still at least better than nothing. It was a really fun.
I have yet to play it.
I purchased it and I platinumed it, meaning I got what achievements are to you on Xbox. PlayStation has trophies, and if you didn't already know that, and I platinumed the game. Platinum meaning I got every trophy, and the final trophy is platinuming it. Like, congrats, you got all the trophies. I platinumed that game in like a week, you know, while going to work and everything. I mixed all my free time I had in with it, and oh my god, that game just I liked it. It was so creative, it was so funny, just real creative, artsy. The developer, which is a Media Molecule, they are absolutely amazing people. I would love to meet them one day if possible, just to thank them. They make some of the coolest stuff, you know. It's just they make some of the coolest stuff, Little Big Planet and all. It's just so fun, you know. I just like that, you know. It's just nice to take a step away from your typical first-person shooter, shoot 'em up, you know, crazy racing adventure game, and just play something, you know, just different. Even if you're like, what the hell?
Get away from reality, basically.
Just get away from the same crap of gaming that is we've now known has become, you know, Call of Duty and everything. It's just nice just to step away for a little bit, step away from Titanfall or Battlefield 4 or something, and just play something completely different where you'll be like, this is stupid, but after a while it's like, oh my god, this is fun, you know. Just you don't have to play it constantly, just as like a break from all your other hardcore games that you play. I don't know, it's just nice. But that's what I think about Tearaway. In general, I'm speaking about all the other creative games, because the Vita has so many indie games on it, and people are always, you know, throwing the whole name of, it's an indie station now, which, you know, I guess you could say that, but it's just nice, you know. At least, you know, a lot of indie games, they get shut out so fast, whereas now they have a console on where they can put all their games on. Everyone will see because Sony always glorifies indie games. So if you're an indie developer and you're like, well, if I put this on the computer or something, it'll probably just get looked by. Whereas if you put it on the Vita, Sony will be more than sure to talk about your game like crazy because Sony loves indie games. That's their new thing also over the past like few years. So just break my game. But yeah, I don't know. Just the Vita, honestly, it's nowadays the reason a lot of people won't buy it is because they saw other people saying, you know, don't buy it, it sucks, this, that. I own one. I own a lot of games for it. I personally think, you know, it's not too much money. The memory cards for it are a lot of money. That's another story.
It's definitely not a console I would like take with me like how I would take my Game Boy SP to the movies. That thing's too big to fit in my pocket. But it's like
he still rocks an SP. That's
yeah. I rock my SP.
I would like to bring my Vita. It's just the analog sticks and all that. I don't need to jam that in my. I already have enough stuff. I'm already running around
just like,
doing.
It's like an iPad. Like you'll look weird carrying it out in public.
I mean, you won't look weird playing it. You'll just look weird walking around and yanking that, you know, giant ass brick out of your pocket, which is not that big of a console. But the Vita, that's the point. It's portable. It's meant to breathe. No one's gonna say anything to you if you have walking around playing it. At the same time, though, watching you trying to fight that in your pocket because all these kids nowadays they have to wear the tightest pants they can find. You know, probably not gonna work out. Whereas if you are gonna do that, get a 3DS then probably. Because, you know, the 3DS on its own is
more
a case.
user-friendly.
It's a case on its own. It just shuts flat and you just sleep.
There's more games. Super Smash Bros. Coming out for it. It's
the 3DS has a lot more games, but that's, again, another story for another day. But that's just my topic on it. I don't know. I own both of those also. Get another chip. That's just my topic on it.
Well, we reached our hour mark, man.
We're at an hour.
Any final words to say?
No.
What about you, Juan?
Yeah, Juan, our special guest, he talks way too much.
Yeah. Anything to say, man?
Not really.
He's eating a lot of chips and he's enjoying Call of Duty right now. That's all he needs. So he was here with us in spirit, but yeah, our first episode. Every podcast we're gonna, you know, the format is what most other podcast people do until we can come up with our own original thing. We're just gonna we're
gonna stick to this where you're gonna see gameplay.
You're gonna see gameplay. We're gonna talk about games mainly, and obviously kind of start it off with personal stories, or even maybe have a podcast where it's just personal stuff. You know, it just varies until we can come up with our own funny segments and all that. Right now, we're just doing it like this, the typical format that you might see other people who do podcasts or the YouTube videos or whoever do. So it's just gonna bear with us on it. I'm trying to make it fun at least, or interesting. But,
and if you made it this far into our podcast, thank you for listening, by the way.
And more likely, obviously you are watching this right now. It is on YouTube. Here, hopefully in the coming months, you know, it is kind of a nightmare to get it going, which I will figure it out and I will put the money in it. You know, once I figure it out. We will try to put this on podcasts, we will try to put this podcast on iTunes and SoundCloud and all that. We'll try to kind of make it more open,
more convenient to listen to.
Because obviously, I'm sure you guys don't exactly. And if you're watching this on YouTube and you don't want to watch gameplay, turn your screen off or something. There you go. There's your podcast, because podcasts are mainly meant to just be not seeing anything, just hearing. That's the idea, kind of, for the most part. But yeah, we will all of us will try to do that. Just right now, it's not exactly with time and everything.
Yeah, we're still working out the kinks, but we have a lot of fun doing stuff like this.
Every week, we want to try to do this. Every week, or
at least once a week.
We don't want to lie and be like, we're gonna have a schedule at this time at exactly 4 a.m. It will be posted. We have lives. We're still trying to work around the website with our personal stuff. There might even be a week or so in a row where we'll completely forget, or we just won't have time to make one. But every week, that's the idea right now in our heads that we will make. We will make an hour to 15-minute long podcast each week talking about games, anything interesting for the most part. And I can't think of anything else really.
Well, if you haven't already, look in the description, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook.
All of our Twitters will be there.
Go to IndecentCamalProductions.com.
Kamal, it's
spelled it's camel, but it's spelled Kamal for some reason. I don't know who's in that. But they have a lot of we have a lot of interesting stuff there. We We talk about things that happen live. We did the Banana Sprite challenge the other day.
If you don't also see that, we'll have a link for you, which you'll see right now.
Boom!
In an annotation on the video. But of course, if you're too cool and don't use annotations, or you're watching this on your mobile device where you can't even see the annotation,
We'll link it in the description as well.
yes. So, or just visit our channel. And if you're like, wow, I'm so tired of clicking around links and clicking channels, having to find this, if you subscribe, it will be a lot easier. But that's, of course, your choice. We're not...
Yeah, we're not telling you to subscribe, but
we would like you to, and we would very much appreciate it without that voice crack. But with that all being said, nothing much else to say.
So
thank you for watching episode 1 of the IndecentCamal podcast. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.